Good morning, everyone.
Happy Thursday and day 21 of our March Mindfulness Challenge. We're so excited that you're with us.
Yeah, we are.
We're doing a meditation. Sorry, we just did a pre-recorded.
We were just laughing at ourselves because every time we go live, there's a countdown for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And we all get all jumpy and excited. And it's interesting because we were talking about how, the stimulus of our environment or what's going on around us can, affect the way that we feel on a day-to-day basis. I certainly feel it in the videos, right? When I'm leading a group or a small group, when it's in person, I feel a little bit more myself. But being on a video, right, it changes the context. It's a little bit less familiar. It makes me nervous.
It's funny when I start doing them, like when I guide it, I'm like, for the first few deep breaths, I'm like, every time, never fails.
It makes a difference because I know when I'm teaching a yoga class, I can like take 3 or 4 deep breaths before I get started because even in that context, I get a little bit nervous. But with the video, it's like it's like hearing the gun go off on a starting line, right? So it's the anticipation of it all. Regardless, we're so thankful that you're joining us this morning. Welcome. We're going to be going through a 10-minute guided meditation practice, a mindfulness meditation practice. And if you're new to this practice, ultimately what we're doing is 2 things. We're staying present and we're breathing deeply. The present moment awareness and the breath moving regulated through the nose and calming the nervous system is really beneficial for us because it allows us to think more clearly, creatively. It allows us to flex the muscle of calm that we probably need throughout our day, right? And you get to evoke that a lot more easily if you practice this here in a formal setting. And then you get to apply it to your life outside of this formal practice. So why don't we get started? So you can find a comfortable seat to start with. It doesn't need to be anything formal, sitting in a chair or on the ground. You can lay down on the floor if you feel more comfortable. You can allow your arms to rest down onto your thighs or by your side. You can start by closing your eyes and just notice the sensation that you feel as you bring your eyelids together. Feel the breath as it moves in and out through your nose. Just ease yourself into this practice. Feeling the body and feeling the space that you find yourself in. Feeling the movements of your body as you breathe in and out through your nose. Give yourself some time here to simply feel and notice what is. Notice the thoughts that arise in your mind as they arise in your mind. To notice the sensations and the sounds that you can hear and that you can feel as you pay attention to the room that you find yourself in. Still actively moving your breath in and out through your nose as you notice what it is that you notice. You find that eventually your mind will wander away from what's happening here in this moment into thoughts of past or future. Maybe just hypothetical situations or a daydream. You're not even sure why or where it's come from. Just notice it for what it is. It's a thought. See if that thought impacts the way that your body feels or the way that you breathe. Without hesitation, you can guide yourself back into the present moment that you find yourself in, just scanning your body for what it is that you can feel. Still moving your breath out through your nose. Just returning to your breath, noticing, allowing yourself to sit in the experience as you breathe in and out. As we need to give ourselves permission to be able to focus in the present. Our mind would urge us to reflect and consider, especially in the midst of busyness. Let yourself step away from that and trust that that mind and that thinking will be there when you're finished. For the period of time that you find yourself here, just allow yourself to rest in the experience. Awareness, openness, simply observing what's so without judgment. See if as you notice what the contents of your mind has for you, if you can just notice that without judgment. Use this as an opportunity to exercise compassion and graciousness towards yourself, towards any effort that you bring into this practice. Bring yourself back into the body that you find yourself in, the moment that you're breathing. Notice things that are subtle to you, but as you draw attention to them, become very obvious. The quality of your breath, the tip of your nose, sensations that you can feel in the back of your throat of air molecules gently bouncing around, vibrating up through your jaw into your eardrum. The weight of gravity as it gently rests you down into your seat. As you move your breath in and out through your nose, you just allow yourself to notice. Maybe even saying to yourself as you're breathing in, now I'm breathing in. And let that proclamation last for the entire duration of your exhale. Now I'm breathing out. Using that verbal to yourself as a way of staying grounded here in this moment. When you forget, simply coming back. Compassion with grace. Sense of patience as you breathe in and out through your nose. Just guiding your awareness and your body, your mind, back into your breath. Back to the moment that you find yourself in, as if that verbal dialogue that assisted you is forgotten about. Just how compelling it is to let your mind wander. Tempting it is to forget about it, let it go. See if you can use that awareness to come back into your body, into your breath. As you breathe in, fill your lungs. As you exhale to soften and let that go. One more time, breathing in deep. Inside out. Gently bring light back into your eyes. Awareness back into the space.
Thank you. That's wonderful.
Shout out to Shauna and Josh and Jennifer joining us. It's great to have all of you with us. Thank you so much. How you feeling?
I feel good.
Ready to take on the day?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's such a great way to start the day.
Yeah.
What I really noticed actually in the last minute or so, I really hold a lot of tension in my jaw, and I don't know if I'm becoming more aware of it because we've done a consistent practice every day. But I just am finding that really fascinating.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so I wonder how that carries throughout my day, that tension.
Yeah.
So I just found that really interesting just now.
Yeah, be curious to know what kind of impact that has on other parts of your body that you wouldn't think about. Maybe the way that your head feels, if you feel headaches or tenseness or tightness through the shoulders. And even where that reflexive nature to tighten the jaw comes from, right? What the root of that is, if it's a nervousness, if it's a apprehension to the work that you're doing or whatever it is. But what's cool is that we can discover these things, right? There's no solution. We're not trying to fix us. We're not trying to repair what's broken, because there's nothing broken. That's what's important to understand. We have a lot of people in society telling us, oh, you need to fix this, you need to repair that. You know, if you purchase this, then you have what you need in order to be satisfied. What I love so much about mindfulness is that it's not a prescription on what to fix or change. In fact, it's a simple and patient observation of just what's you know, just what's happening in the body. This is the body that I live in. This is the life that I live. What's going on as this person in my life steps into the room? What's going on in my life when I'm overwhelmed with work? What's going on when I'm feeling discouraged, when I'm down on myself? You know, these are all things that I get to start becoming familiar with and understand a little more deeply as I simply pay attention without judgment. That's the important bit, is looking without judgment. Because if you judge yourself every time your mind wanders, if you judge yourself every time you notice your jaw is clenched, you're going to probably spend most of the mindfulness practice just judging yourself, just being hard on yourself. The reality is that the jaw is clenching, the mind is wandering, regardless. It's happening regardless of whether you pay attention to it or not. It's just the benefits of paying attention to that, understanding it as time goes on, and just making peace with it ultimately. That's the fruit of this practice. It's not in fixing or repairing anything.
Yeah, just being aware.
Just being aware.
Yeah,
right?
perfect.
Imagine if the best way to see why this is so important, think about world leaders or people in your life who are outside of awareness, who aren't bringing, contemplation and consideration for other people or or long-term consequences. We get frustrated with those people. We get discouraged, and we think to ourselves, man, like, can't they have a little bit of a better head on their shoulder, a little more awareness, a little bit more consideration for the long-term well-being of our communities? And if you think that way about other people, you can imagine that the impact on just becoming more aware for yourself, that's where it starts, because we become the example for people around us.
That's true.
And so my encouragement to you is not to be judgmental towards yourself or even towards those world leaders or other people. Start at home, make your bed. There's that metaphor of taking care of what's going on in your own home before you start to try to fix what's going on outside of your home. And the home that you consistently have, that's never moving, that's never changing, is this body and this mind that you have. And that's ultimately what we're encouraging you to navigate and investigate, is the home that you find yourself in all the time. Right? Optimize that, because your life will optimize. Yeah, love you. Really learn to love you. The analogy would be music. I'm learning music right now.
The piano.
Yeah, the piano. And you don't love it when you first start. It's interesting, it's fun, it's uncomfortable, there's some tension there. It's the same thing with our mindfulness practice. But eventually, once you start playing a song from beginning to end, even the simple songs that I'm working on right now, I love it. It's so fun. Once I kind of unlock the code of everything that needs to happen, it's so rewarding and exciting. And it's the same thing with our bodies. When you finally stop repeating that same mistake over and over, simply because you draw awareness to it, you're aware that it's not working in your life, or something else needs to give, then it's like, oh, this is so fun, this engagement with life, this challenge of changing things up and switching it up. Yeah.
So cool. Well,
thank you so much.
We'll see everyone tomorrow. We're early at 8 a.m. Have a great day.
Happy Thursday.